Many blessings to everyone. How are you? I know that you can't see me very clearly. I am purposely sitting by the window. Actually, this is my usual spot, but I realized that the light of the sun was coming in and it's hitting the screen, and yet I wanted it to be this way so that you can feel the energy and the light. I shared a video yesterday and an oracle reading, but I couldn't help myself. I had to come back and do a sharing in this way with this beautiful light. Um, and tomorrow, which is Friday, Luna and I are planning to do a live stream, and I'm sure that we're probably going to address this topic that I'm about to share. But I'm beginning to see sort of a trend, unfortunately, but it's sort of like a share for a heads up kind of thing. You know, I've addressed this in the past where this expansion that we're having spiritually is such a wonderful thing for the collective consciousness to step in. Um, we love to see it, to witness it, but alongside with it, um, we know that the field and the modalities are also becoming a little saturated. We've talked about the quick coach and the master classes. But today I spent time with someone that I met for the first time, and it really compelled me to just do a share. This individual came to me because they're recovering from a traumatic experience that they had with a spiritualist, and that's her terms, not mine. And it was an online encounter that then became a phone connection, going back and forth through a series of sessions. Anyway, and the disturbing thing is that this individual was told that they had a lot of bad energy on them, that they had curses, and all of these energetic, heavy things on them to a point where they needed to have work done. And beautiful soul this is, by the way, just very pure, very fairy-like. I immediately felt her empathic energy. Um, a beautiful being, who's here to be of service, but vulnerable, as most empaths are. And anyway, she felt compromised. She felt, that she needed to address these claims that the spiritualist was making. And so, to make a long story short, $17,000 later, she began to feel, to have an awareness that all of these claims were actually making her sick. Never mind the fact that she had invested so much money, and which was a red flag in itself. And so, of course, we're not going to sit here and say she should have known better, and this, that, or the other. It's just a sad thing. And so, yes, part of the message is the red flags. You know, um, as a reminder that there should be a resonance, and I really want to highlight that word, uh, a resonance, when we're making a connection with someone, a guide, someone, a messenger, a guru, a teacher. It should be free flowing, the energy. It should be something that feels good, that inspires you, that uplifts you. The messages should also be that. And even when a message is, because of course, an authentic reader, um, psychic, should deliver whatever messages are placed in the energetic field. So it's not to say that we should clean it up, or make it pretty. But even when there's a challenging message, Um, it should always be presented from a place of love, from a place of inspiration, of guidance, of knowing that, in every challenge, as we already discussed in so many other of the programs, is really an opportunity for us to grow, or perhaps to take a stance or to empower ourselves. But nothing should ever feel like it's coming from a place of fear or lacking light, which is why I'm standing doing this video with all of this beautiful light, because I want you to feel that. I want you to know that, the pureness of the light energy, the love and the comfort. And that's how any interaction that we have with a light worker should be. And the moment that you don't feel that, or the moment that fear is presented, you know, uh, something that feels disempowering to you, that is a clear message for you to run, um, and to not feel that you need to pay money, extraordinary amounts of alchemy, in order to have somebody help you, to release this. Because in truth, um, it is our ability to give power to those fears that either that propel them to us, or our lack of giving it power that actually closes the door. It is only when we believe that someone can hurt us in that fashion that we may open a door to not actually, allow something outside to hurt us, but it's our own internal belief and the energy that we invest in that actually can become the culprit. I hope that makes sense, because it's really true. It's anything that we give our power to. But it is a little bit discerning. That's not the right word. Disenchanting, I guess. Sad to know that this type of manipulation exists, and the vulnerability that people clearly come with when they reach out to someone for spiritual guidance. Um, I've invested 20 plus years in doing this work, so, and a pioneer in trying to create the format of platform. And so when I hear that this kind of stuff is happening, it upsets me. But we're gonna let that go. And of course, that's why I'm doing this video, because we just need to be educated and to be informed and to be aware that anything and everything that's spiritual in its authentic form should be presented from a place of love, of light, of, like I said, uplifting. It should be, you know, encouraging, and it definitely should not instill fear, and should not be attached to you having to do, um, you know, ridiculously ridiculous investments, um, in order to have somebody bring you back to a place of equilibrium. you know. Um, anyway, I just kind of felt that I had a need to share that, and to look for that resonance. By the way, the resonance. I'm trying to move that a little bit because the energy is like right by my mouth. um, the resonance that I was speaking about earlier should be something that we should look, um, for the presence of it to be in any kind of interaction, of any kind of exchange, whether it's friendships, new friendships, relationships. You know, we all know what that feels like. When somebody's intimidating, or when somebody is being arrogant, or you know, uh, acting from a place of superiority. It doesn't feel good, and we have to learn how to honor when we have an observation that somebody is vibrating from that place. And it's not about getting into a place of judgment. It's more about knowing that we don't need to interact or engage with that type of energy if we don't choose to, and that it's not really going to be conducive because everything is about divine exchange. And, we give and we receive. And most of the time, when someone is vibrating from those kinds of fields, they're not really giving too much. You know, they're really looking to receive, whether it's attention or whether it's money or power, you know. And so there's no reason then to, you know, extend your energy to have to engage. And that should be in your checklist. And again, whether you're engaging, in friendships or relationships, or doing some kind of work with someone, a coach or a teacher of sorts, always look for that divine exchange. Always look to see how you feel after the exchange. Do you feel, you know, encouraged, hopeful? Is there a resonance in what was presented? You know, guidance, direction, or was there intimidation? Was, were you left with a feeling of fear or disempowerment? And if the answer is yes to any of that, then cut the cord and know that this is not something that you need to engage with. Surely not because your soul needs it, but if you feel propelled to engage in something, in a interchange of that nature, then it's also important to realize that you're acting from a place of fear, and that at that point you're giving away your power. Yes? No, no, no to giving away power. Yes. And so, like I said, I just kind of felt like I wanted to share a little bit about this. I'm going to entitle the show Energy Resonance, because I feel that that is something that we definitely need to be aware of, and have that as on top of our checklists when we are engaging or having an exchange of sorts with someone, especially if they're offering guidance, uh, or if we're looking to develop a more intimate relationship, whether it's in friends or partnerships or anything of that nature. Yes? Remember that you are a divine creator, and that whatever you place your power and your energy and attention to is only going to grow. This is a great invitation for us to look at what we're afraid of and to release those fears, and not give them power, um, and truly, you know, to go inward, because anything that may be affecting us resides internally. Um, and as long as we're in a place of wholeness and connection, there is nothing on the outside that can truly hurt us. Yes? I hope that this message in this video finds some resonance for you today in some way. Um, just felt like I wanted to put it out there. And I'd love to hear comments, or any experiences that you may like to share with our community. We can just grow and become even more aware, um, and build a beautiful force of the empowerment, and love for the sacred self, so that we don't allow any of this outside toxicity to touch us. Yes? And Lou and I are planning to do a live stream for EP tomorrow. And, we kind of play a little bit with the time, but somewhere around 11ish or so. So if you're available and want to tune in, a good way to do that is to get notifications. I don't need to tell you guys that. You probably know that already on YouTube. But of course, you could always catch the program later. Um, and anyway, that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's reading, and I hope it resonated. And I will be back soon. But always, always, always leave you with my love, with divine protection and illumination, light, and beautiful peace for you. I hope that you're having a beautiful day and have a wonderful evening.